Welcome back to Embrace Life and Thrive podcast with Sabrina for episode 19. It's hard to believe that. I'm already at episode 19, almost to season 2. Let's get started. Today I'm going to be talking about it's more than what we eat. As always, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking the link in the description below to never miss a new episode of my podcast and recipes. There are also other helpful links in the description below that you might want to check out. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out. I would love to hear from you. All right, without further ado, let's get started. So today's episode, I'm going to be talking about it's more than what we eat. What does that mean? Getting healthy, feeling healthy, being healthy is more than just what we're putting on our plate to consume, to feed and nourish our bodies. Our plate represents our whole life, what we do with our time, where we work, who we hang out with, what we do in our spare time, and also what we do specifically to help our body become healthier, whether that's through lifestyle changes such as eating, exercising, getting good quality of sleep. It's more than what we eat. And sometimes when we're dealing with a health issue, there might be an underlying root cause that we haven't identified yet. And this can be seen sometimes with feeling like we're getting nowhere. We're doing all the things, but we're not seeing the results. So taking a step back is really helpful to just evaluate, are there any root causes here that could be contributing to these unwanted factors? I know for me that I had to step back even though I was doing all the right things. I wasn't seeing the results I wanted to see. It took probably about 6 months to start seeing results. Had to do a lot of assessment, a lot of experimenting to identify root causes, to identify what areas of my life needed more attention. And sometimes that means that our emotional health needs more attention than what we're eating. Now, it all plays in together. So I'm not saying one thing is more important than the other, but it's helpful to take a step back and to really evaluate what is going on in my life that could be influencing these unwanted health issues. Do I have a lot of stress? Do I struggle with anxiety and depression? Do I have lots of fear? Fear of failure, fear of what the future holds? Fear of commitment, fear of anything really can hold us back. Do I compare my life to others? Comparison is the stealer of joy. And it's easy to look at somebody else's life and say, oh, they have it better than me. But that person has their own struggles. They have their own things that they don't like about their life. The grass is always greener on the other side. So it's helpful to evaluate where we are in life, where we are right now, and identify, is there anything that could be driving these symptoms? I have talked to different clients who have told me, Sabrina, I've been trying everything. I have been exercising. I have been eating, healthy, taking supplements and doing all these things, but nothing has changed. We can get so caught up in all the to-do lists, all the things I must do, I have to do in order to achieve results, that we forget to enjoy life, to embrace life. My model has been for the past 2 years to embrace life. And what that means for me personally is I envision myself just running full speed ahead with my arms wide open, just taking in everything that God allows to come my way. And I have learned that with this mindset of just embracing everything, I have been able to experience more joy and more happiness in spite of what's going on in my life. The last 2 years have been really rough. It's almost coming up to mark since we found out we were pregnant with our first baby promise, and losing that baby not long after. And so I have learned so much in the past 2 years, have grown so much, and have achieved so much. And I contribute that to God giving me the mindset of embracing life, to not just wish it away, to wish I wasn't dealing with this difficulty, to wish I didn't weigh this weight, didn't look this way, wish I wasn't in this circumstance, but instead embracing it. This has changed my life. Learning that it's more than what I eat and identifying areas of my life that need fed, not just what I'm putting on my plate to sit down and eat at a meal. So as you step back and examine your life, are there areas in your life that you can identify that need more focus? You could be exercising every day, doing that and putting that in, but yet you're still dealing with a lot of anxiety and fear and stress. What are some ways that you can step back? You may need to dial down on exercise because exercise is a stressor. Not eating regularly is a stressor. Not eating enough is a stressor. And so if we have all these things piled up, then our body's going to feel overwhelmed. I know people talk about having a calorie deficit to restricting our diet in order to lose weight. I think there's a better way. I know for me, I haven't felt like I've been in a calorie deficit on my journey. I've tried to focus more on macronutrients, how much protein I'm getting, how much carbs I'm getting, how much fat I'm getting, and focus more on lifestyle changes to encourage relaxation, to encourage a sense of peace and safety and well-being. In order for the body to heal, the nervous system needs to know that it's safe. And in today's world, we live in a fast-paced world. We're going here, going there. We have the to-do list. We have all these things we have to do, all these stressors, the outside stressors, influences of the world and those around us, and then those ones that we just put upon ourselves. Because oftentimes we're perfectionists. We want to do everything so. And when we're falling below that, we cause ourselves to be more stressed out. So identify what it means to you to be healthy. What does healthy look like to you? What is that picture? I know for me, that has been just feeling confident in my body, being able to move around and get up and go and not feel out of breath or achy, being able to do my jobs and feeling joy and happiness in my heart, regardless of what is going on in my life. It hasn't been easy, but taking on the mindset that it's more than what we eat and embracing life, because life is beautiful, even in the trials, even in the circumstances. Life is a miracle. It is beautiful. And I have learned this so much in the past 2 years. Realizing that new life is a miracle and it's given by God, and sometimes that life is cut short, but no matter what, life is precious and life is to be embraced. I can't speak for you or what the root causes are in your life that are creating a roadblock for you to feel like you're achieving your goals. And sometimes it's helpful to seek help, to have somebody else that you can talk to and get a different perspective on things and help them, or they can help by asking you specific questions to help you think about certain things, to help identify the areas in your life that need more support. Especially if when you're trying to lose weight, it can be really overwhelming thinking of all the things that you need to do, such as your diet. You can't eat that. You have to eat this. You have to exercise. You have to drink water. Another mindset that has helped me is I don't have to do anything. I get to do it. I want to do it. And thinking about that, I first have to identify my why. Why do I need or want to do something? Identifying my why is helpful because I can come back to it when I get off track, when I feel like I'm not making the progress anymore. I can evaluate my life and say, well, is there more stress going on here? What are the circumstances in the last few days that have caused me to feel this way? I like to think about it as being a little detective for health and wellness. It is constant. You're constantly taking in your environment, in your circumstances, embracing everything. And by embracing everything, you have to learn to let go. Because when I say embrace everything, it doesn't mean that you're bracing it and taking it onto yourself. It's just letting it come and flow through you and letting God work through you to become the person that He needs you to be, and letting go the rest. There's a lot of things in life we can't control, but we can control how we react. Sometimes we react in ways that people don't appreciate. And what I have found is that when I react in such a way that I know that I have prayed and left it up to God and have peace, it's okay, whatever the outcome of that is. Because ultimately, God knows our why. God knows everything about our life from before we were conceived to now. And He knows what the future holds for us. And He has a plan for that. And so today I encourage you to evaluate your life, to embrace everything that God is sending your way, to learn to flourish, to thrive where God has planted you right now, while still moving forward, while still putting the effort in for your health and wellness, still taking time to move your body, to nourish your body, but also take time to nourish your walk with God, your emotional health, your financial health, your relationships health, because it's more than what we need. It is more than what we eat. We can get so caught up on, I can eat this, I can't eat that, I can eat this, I can't eat that. And it can be really overwhelming. I speak from experience. But taking on a mindset of embracing everything and thriving where I am, embracing life, finding joy in the now, even when things aren't going how we want them, is really helpful in our road to better health. I started reading this book by Jess Connolly, Breaking Free from Body Shame, Dare to Reclaim What God Has Named Good. So if you're struggling with body shame, being negative about your body, or anything like that related to that, please look up this book. I will put the link below. I have started reading this book just the other day, and so far it has been really a blessing to me. So I highly recommend it. I will put the link below for you to check that out if you're interested. I think that about wraps it up for today. As always, this podcast is for informational, educational purposes only and should not be used as a substitute for professional medical advice. Thanks for joining me, and as always, please like, comment, and share, and give your feedback. I would love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, continue to embrace life. Continue to learn to embrace life and thrive where God has planted you right now, and experience the joy of the Lord regardless of what is going on in your life.